Mr. Fantastic gameplay. Let's get it, guys. So let's go over all his abilities, his skins, and all the unlockables. But I think the most important thing first is going over the abilities. So for starters, he is actually surprisingly going to be a duelist, but he's kind of in this weird area where he's kind of a tank and kind of a DPS character also. Like, well, duelist is kind of like DPS, right? So let's go over the abilities. So first off, his basic attack, which is called the Stretch Punch. So it has a 15-meter range over here, and it does allow you to hit multiple targets if you drag it. Now, this is something very important to mention. It has relatively a short range. I can't hit both these targets. If he is behind the other guy, I can't hit him. But if I'm able to angle this, you can see I can hit both targets. So what you may want to do with this character is actually play on a very, very high sensitivity, because you can drag your attacks to other targets. But if they are behind, it will not register. So you can kind of angle it to where you're not directly on the side of the enemy. So that way you can get more value with the ability. Now, there's also a number right below our crosshair. You can see where it's like 25, 23. What is that? Okay, so that is the passive that he has, which is called Elastic Strength. So when we attack or use our abilities, it's going to go up. Once it goes all the way up, we're going to get a shield that boosts us up and does even more damage. I'll show you guys what that looks like. I'll just kind of build it up, and we'll go over all the other abilities here in just a moment. But you have to build it up. Your auto attacks will build it up, but it's a lot slower. Right now, I have no cooldowns, so we'll go over the cooldowns. But this is what it looks like. Dude, we got 925 shield, man. Like, so now he's kind of a tank, right? He's, like, flexible. I mean, that's kind of his thing. But, yeah, that is how that thing works. So we'll build it up once again so you guys can see it. And it does go down. It doesn't build, though, if you take damage. It's built up if that thing goes all the way up. And it does degen, kind of like just shields in general. But once that goes all the way up, boom. And as far as I'm aware of, you can't, like, stop it. Like, it has to go through. So maybe your opponents could use that against you, because when you're in that form, you'll notice his basic attack also does change. I'll build it up one more time just so you guys can see the difference in range of how it looks. So, boom, we're going to go up. We can go ahead and mark this target, and we can see the 15-meter range. Now we don't get that. 15 meters is like the normal. I think this is it's probably about 10 if I was to like gauge kind of a number, but that's the passive. All right, moving on to the next thing that I want to go over, which is the Distended grip. So it extends our arms forward to entangle the enemy. Then you can push the left click to pull the hit enemy toward you, or select and yank another enemy, knocking them airborne against each other. So that's where you can slam two targets against each other, which is really cool. So I can go ahead and grab this target. Oh, well, let's go ahead and impact this character. So I can bring two characters together, and maybe if they're like in an area where there's a gap, I can, you know, knock them off the map. That would be kind of cool for this. All right, well, I have no cooldown right now, so it's fine. But you can see I can also dash towards the character. Oh, well, it's going to put me in this mode. Like I said, I can't control this, like as far as, you know, being in this mode. So let's go ahead and use his ability here. So we can grab the target over here, and I can just go impact. Oh, unfortunately, it just ripped. Okay, hold on, let's try this. There we go. Now I can pull the target towards us. If it gets eliminated, then yeah, obviously, yeah. But you can exit the form of it, but you can't, like his, passive mode, the Elastic Strength, when we turn to the big guy, we cannot, as far as I'm aware, you can't stop it, but you can exit the mode. But the next ability I want to go over, which is bound to E, is called Flexible Elongation, which grants us a shield. It says select a target and dash towards them, dealing damage to enemies and granting a shield to allies. So over here, if I want to use this on an ally over here, you can see, well, it doesn't actually show up that they granted shield, but you can see it does grant us the shield, and I believe the number is 125, but let me double check. Keep in mind, some of these numbers may be subject to change. We're on like the private test server right now. We see we're at 275 over here, and then we go to 350. Okay, I don't know if it's based on the target's HP. I just noticed that that was kind of a number. Let me get to a full HP. There could be some newer things to discover, as this guy's just came out. I'm just trying to give you guys all the info. So we go to 350. Yeah, so that should be 125 is the number. And you can see we go to 500. But you cannot exceed 500, except for when you go into like the big boy mode. But We also have the ultimate, and I actually learned some stuff with the ultimate. So first, I'll use it in this room so you guys can see how many bounces you get, because you get more bounces if you hit enemies. I believe the highest amount is 6 that you can get, and the lowest is 3. So let me activate the ultimate. So here's what the ultimate looks like. So 1, 2, 3, and it takes 4 to actually limit squishy. So you need to land your hits, obviously, with this. So there, you got to see 3 hits. Let me go ahead and actually put it on a Groot, otherwise the target will die and we can't use it as many times as I would want to. It's got a pretty big box, and if we go over the abilities, it does slow the enemies. So we're going to go ahead and activate a character that can actually survive the attack. So now I'm going to activate it against Groot. So you see, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It isn't a pretty large AoE, but like I said, if we go back to Luna, if I can go over here, go spawn like Luna or just any 250 or 275. Let's just go. I just like to use Luna because that's the target that a lot of people use, just so it's easy for reference. Like, you know, how much damage is it kind of doing? That way we can visually see, because this is kind of like the standard of the game. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It takes 5 hits. So it is, yeah, so yeah, it's 5 hits, so you basically have 1 extra hit in case they slightly get healed. So it will damage everything. It's a pretty big AoE, but that is the ultimate on Mr. Fantastic. And there is also a team-up ability, and I'm going to go ahead and go into the other room so I can go ahead and show you guys how that looks, because, well, I don't have another player to play with right now. So let me go ahead and show you guys what that actually looks like. Alright, so going into the abilities here, that way you guys can see them. We already went over all the abilities, but I want to go over the team up because you kind of need to see it here. So yeah, how it works is you have an ability. It looks like it's on a 20-second cooldown, I believe. You can see it's activated on C. Yeah, it's a 20, maybe 21 second cooldown. Yeah, you're going to be able to regenerate some sort of shields and take some damage reduction. I'm not sure exactly what's the percent damage reduction in the game, but you can see kind of how it works. So you do have to have Invisible Woman in order for that to work, and just for fun, we can check out their little like suggested combo. Basically, you're just going to be smacking things and kind of sticking to maybe a target. And I think this character definitely looks like he's got some potential. The ultimate, well, you know, I showed it off and it's like you have to hit 5 times. I still think the character has some potential. Like some characters I'll look at and immediately be like, okay, that character probably needs a buff. But that's the character. Here is the other things you guys may want to see. I'll show you guys the cosmetics, all like the little abilities, lores and stuff. In case any of you guys want to screenshot, feel free to pause or whatever. But here's the rewards for the proficiency, so what you need to do over here. And as far as like the little avatars and what you can get for the KD prompt or the KO prompt. But as far as it goes, here's like the MVP, all the little emotes and all of that stuff. So just so you guys can kind of see it, and we'll be dropping more of these. So if you are new here, guys, this is first time on the channel, we are an official Marvel Rivals content creator. That's how I have access to it. So we'll be dropping a lot of things early, but of course we've got to go over the skins, man. So here is the Maker, and here is First Family. I'll do a little rotation just so you guys can see it from the back. But, you know what looks really good from the back is, man, the Invisible Woman looking very, very good. We just dropped the full ability guide on her. If you guys want to check that out, check the pin. It'll be there, and we're going to be dropping more gameplay of everything. You know, there's a couple more characters. Can't reveal them all yet here, but there is going to be more content very soon. So if you're new here, like I said, sub, turn on the bell. You'll definitely see more. But what do you guys think of Mr. Fantastic after seeing the gameplay and his abilities? Do you guys think he's OP, just like the right spot, or he needs a buff, at least via the gameplay? We'll be dropping gameplay very soon in an actual game, but I want to go over the abilities first because I think that's important. But let me know your thoughts on Mr. Fantastic down below. But peace out, guys.